How do you heal from a wound that was inflicted by, and please don't get me wrong, by a church member? Okay, maybe you come from a family where you come from a narcissistic, toxic family. You come from a family where you are wounded, where you are abused physically, psychologically, mentally, emotionally. And what you did, you ran to church. You ran to church for healing. You knew that when you arrive there, you'll find healing, you'll find people that will understand you, you'll find leaders that will guide you. And please, my sisters and my brothers, I am not attacking any church, but I'm speaking things that I know of. And then when you arrive in that church, maybe you get into a youth group, and then you get into a relationship maybe with somebody. And let me tell you something. When you are wounded, when you have unhealed wounds, especially as a lady, let me speak to ladies, especially if you have unhealed wounds, you are abused, you had an absent father, maybe you are raised by a stepdad, and there was all kind of abuse, and then you go to church, you think that now in church you'll find the right people, good people that will understand you and will love you. Let me tell you, even when you go to that church, you'll find a wounded person, because what you have inside is what you attract. Because not that everybody in church is healed, not that everybody in church is 100% perfect. You know, they are imperfect people going to a place where they think they will get healing, or they think, or they know that they will get healing from the people around there. So sometimes some journeys you have to make them alone, my sisters and my brothers. And sometimes God wants you to make that journey only with Him, especially the healing journey. Not everybody will understand you, not everybody will get you. And some people have been so abused in church that they have hated church, that they have hated people in church. I don't think that is the right thing to do. To hate church for those who go to church, to hate church, or to hate the people in church. The people in church are just like any other person. They have just decided to go to a place where maybe they think their problems will be solved. And sometimes those problems are not solved, because depending on the people there. Because somebody to guide you on emotional, psychological, mental, sexual abuse takes someone that has the ability, that has the power, also the power of God, not only the capability or the educational side, but also has the power of God and the wisdom of God, and also has gone through that to take you through that. Because if somebody has not gone through such a thing, or does not have the capabilities, the abilities, and the power of God, will not take you through healing. My sisters and my brothers, sometimes your healing journey has to be done only with you and God. You understand? For those who go to therapy, that is their life, and that is the way they want to do their healing journey. But I believe the ultimate healer is God. I'm telling you the truth, my sisters and my brothers. As human beings, we have addressed so many things to God. We have told God, give me a job, God, give me this. But why don't you start by telling God, God, I am wounded inside me. I had a mother that used to verbally abuse me, that it really affected my life. I had a father that was absent, always coming home drunk, beating my mother. We used to see that. So your first years, the first years of your life, when you are a child, are very, very, very important years. They are the years that create a foundation of your life and who you are. And if that is your foundation, it means that your foundation is not strong. There's no way that you're going to create a better future. You understand, my sisters and my brothers? So you have to take this journey. This journey is not an easy journey. Maybe you want to forget about it. You want to say, oh, no, I don't want to go back there. But you must go out there. You must go there where there was that pain, where your father abused you, where your mother abused you. You have to go there where your uncle abused you, where you are abused by a stepmom. Address those issues. Open up. Open your heart to God. Be vulnerable to God. You understand? Yes, maybe you are disappointed in church, or maybe by church leaders or people that you trusted, but that does not mean that those people are bad. And that does not mean that your church is bad. You understand, my sisters and my brothers? Even those people are wounded in their own way. Maybe they have their own wounds. They do not know what to do with their wounds, you know. And I'm not saying everybody is wounded. I'm saying that they are, for the people that are going through trauma, that have gone through a traumatic childhood. I hope you understand me until there. Sometimes this journey, you have to take it only with God. Through prayer and being committed, being consistent, and being vulnerable to God. Sometimes this journey, no human being can understand you. It's just that now the grace of God has given, the grace of God is upon His children, and His children are telling and waking up other people. Because most of the time, the children that have been abused, used, tormented, and tortured, they are very spiritually gifted children. That is why sometimes you find yourself going to church too much, you know, and maybe you did not get any solution there. You understand? So do not blame the church. Do not hate the church. Do not hate the people in church. In fact, hate is a very, very bad emotion. You must forgive everybody that hurt you, even if it's in the church. You must forgive them. You have to understand they are also human beings. Maybe they are also wounded in their way. And forgiving them does not mean that you go back where you are also abused, even if it's a church. You don't go back there. You separate yourself. Now you must create an intimate relationship with God. You must create you must now start to reprogram your mind, start to reprogram your life into positivity. You understand, my sisters and my brothers? I hope and pray that God gives you direction, that God gives you wisdom, that God directs you in the right way through this healing journey.